Welcome to Massive Late Fee. And now your hosts, Mark and Carol. Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to Massive Late Fee. My name is Mark. With me as always is my girlfriend Carol. How you doing, Carol?
Hey, what's up?
Not much. It's been a decent week here at Massive Late Fee. It is January 12th, 1996.
That sounds so much better.
And my toe is broken.
That does not sound so much better.
What do you mean that sounds better?
It sounds better than the fee.
What are you talking about?
You've said that a couple times.
I said the date.
What?
I said the date, and you said that sounds better.
Because
so January 12th sounds better. January 12th, 1996 sounds better than the fee.
I'm saying brought to you by or presented by or whatever the fuck you say, Massive Late Fee sounds better than the fee.
Okay, great.
That's all.
Maybe you should have said that yesterday when I said it yesterday.
Oh, okay.
All right, so you don't want me to say the fee anymore?
No, because it makes me think of like Pepe Le Pew or something.
Yeah, you said that. And so, if those of you who heard our best of episode might have heard that exchange, I don't know if you just remember that exchange or if it's hardwired in your brain.
It's hardwired into my brain.
When you hear the word fee, you think Pepe Le Pew, even though you used to think it was Pepe Le Pew.
I don't know why.
Like the other day, she was singing along to
Oh, no.
Come Out and Play by The Offspring.
No.
And it was the resurgence of the if you're under 18, we'll be doing it in time. Instead of if you're under 18, you won't be doing any time.
In my brain, they're having sex.
And that's so not what that song's about at all. Song's about gang violence in Los Angeles. Or wherever the hell The Offspring come from, I think somewhere in California. But yeah, that song's not like the least sexual song in the world.
I guess my brain makes everything sexual.
I guess so. Speaking of sexuality, new rule in the house. No more cyber talk.
What?
So, Bob Talbert, who's one of the columnists in the in the Detroit Free Press, has a message for everybody. He wants to ban all things cyber, cyberspace, cyber whatever, and cyber sex. He wants to ban cyber talk completely in his house.
Wow.
All the flirting and stuff like that, online flirting. He doesn't like it.
Well, then he doesn't have to do it.
I think he's going to lose a wife or something. It's a cyber sex.
Very weird.
One word starting to rise towards the enough's enough level. Crunch.
And munch?
He doesn't like the word crunch. Critics use it to describe an actor's technique, guitar sounds, a hot trend in foot. What does it say? Food, sorry. A hot trend in food.
Okay. A foot.
A crunchy foot.
I know your toe is broken, but damn.
Oh, yeah, I never even got into that, guys. I destroyed my toe. It's not good. If I cry out in pain at some point, it's because there's periodic stabs of pain in my toe.
Not because I stabbed him.
Not this time.
Maybe next time, though.
But is Julia Roberts dating a friend?
Like a cast member of Friends?
Yeah, you got it. I was going to try to trick you.
Well,
Like it was one of her friends. Apparently, she's been cited with Matthew Perry.
okay.
One of the 3 cute male friends.
Was she on the show?
I don't think so.
No?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't watch that show often enough to know if she was on the show.
Because it seems like, how would they meet?
I don't know. they both live in Hollywood. Look, what are you talking about?
I'm just wondering how her and Matthew
Perry lives on Pluto, so I get why Well, you think it might be difficult for them to meet.
It's not like they've been in a movie together.
Have they been to an award show at the same time? I mean, there's so many ways that at a party, at a mutual friend's house.
Okay.
How does anyone meet?
I don't know. I don't know how life happens.
How would they meet?
That seems weird, though. Like, she's way better looking than him.
I disagree.
Really?
She's got a horse face.
She does not.
Those big teeth and stuff. I don't like it.
She's very pretty.
Okay. Well, good for her. She's not my cup of tea, as they say. Susan Sarandon tried valiantly to get back to New York, where the snowed-in media has arrived to talk to her part of the press junket for her acclaimed movie, Dead Man Walking.
Oh.
But she couldn't get there.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, snow kept her away. So that sucks.
We'll have to see that movie.
Yeah. Okay, so this says couples' online flirtations are often harmless. Dear Ann Landers. This is Ann Landers. You want to hear a letter to Ann Landers?
Sure.
Letter from outmaneuvered in Arizona. Hit close to home. He was the man whose wife began an affair over the computer. 6 months ago, my wife, Betsy, quotes, not real name, obviously. So I love that he's got to pick a fake name, and he picks Betsy. Told me I had been neglecting her because of my long hours on the night shift. Thinking it would occupy her time, I showed Betsy how to use the online chat service.
Oh, no, that was not smart.
Before long, she was spending hours every night on the computer chatting with men. Betsy told me not to be threatened. She even showed me some pornographic images.
Oh, geez.
Sent to her by one of her new friends. I asked why she would continue to talk to people who would send such kinky pictures. She insisted they were nice guys, and it was all fun. 2 months ago, I found a computer message Betsy had saved. She had told someone named Brian that she was falling in love with him.
Oh, no.
And was eager to meet him in a neutral city to find out if they were soulmates in a neutral city.
Wow.
It's like a football game. We've got to meet in a neutral city, Brian. That there's
no home front advantage.
It won't be fair, any other way. When I confronted her, she said it was a joke.
Oh my.
Then I found a message saying she was sending Brian a video of her stripping. This shook me up and made me realize the fun and games had gone too far. This is when you realize the fun and games had gone too far? She's showing you pictures of guys' dicks, and that's not enough for you to know that the fun and games have gone too far?
Right?
Holy shit. Anyway, I told Betsy the computer was destroying our marriage. She said I was being ridiculous. Last week I got on the day shift and hope this will help. Meanwhile, Betsy is still online with Brian, running up charges in excess of $300 a month. Fresno.
Wow.
Here is Ann Landers' response to Fresno. I have some responses that I could give to Fresno here.
Right.
Dear Fresno, I have been hearing a lot of late about online romances and have concluded that there are now hundreds of married men and women flirting with strangers in this manner. We've talked about this before.
Yes, we have.
And you said this isn't cheating.
I did say that. I think I changed my mind.
You and your wife should seek joint counseling at once. Other married folks who are engaging in what appears to be a harmless pastime should be aware that they are playing with fire. Therapists have labeled this a genuine addiction. And that's it. That's what she says.
That's it?
Yeah, her advice is to get counseling at once.
Seriously? That's your advice? How about, tell your wife to take that modem and shove it up her fucking ass. How about that?
Yeah, I think it's over.
Yeah.
You've allowed this, unfortunately, Fresno, you've allowed this to go too far. If you had stopped it at the guys are sending naked pictures to my wife phase, maybe you could have had joint counseling and fixed it, but she's
in love.
She's sending nude photos back. She thinks that she's in love with one of these guys. quote unquote Brian, this fucking low life Brian, by the way. What kind of coward is sitting behind a computer trying to steal other people's wives?
Well, I mean, in Brian's defense, does he even know she's married?
I bet he does. Huh. I've already painted Brian as the villain in my head. So.
Okay. I think Betsy is the villain. I think Betsy's a little slut.
Well, yeah, I agreed. They both are.
I mean, I understand whatever she was feeling like neglected and stuff, but she got his attention. Now knock it off.
Yeah. No good.
Poor dude.
Have you ever sent pornographic images across the computer?
What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, I guess the internet didn't really exist before we started dating. So we would have had to have been dating when you did it. So I'm guessing no.
Correct.
Have you ever received pornographic images from guys?
Unfortunately.
Really?
Yeah.
What happened?
I blocked them.
Interesting.
But yeah, sometimes, you're chatting with somebody and then all of a sudden you get a picture.
Surprise dick!
Yeah. It's no good. That is not a surprise any lady wants.
Right. Yeah, it's the most sensual part of the body, of anyone's body, right?
Right. Oh.
Yeah, that's messed up. But
Yes.
I guess guys do that, right?
Unfortunately, yeah. I don't know why. Like, why do you guys think that women want to see your dicks?
Your predicts?
Yes. Your dick pics.
Your dick pics. That's good. That's good. I like that. Dick pic. We've coined a new phrase here. Dick pic.
Have you ever sent or received pornographic images?
Mm-mm. Women don't do that unsolicited, I don't think, and I've never sent a pornographic image.
Right answer.
It's the honest answer.
Good. I would hurt you.
It's not like I got a ton to be proud of photogenically. Anyway.
Oh, come on now. You have a very pretty penis.
Do I?
Yes. You should be very proud.
I don't know if pretty is the...
Proud of your pretty penis.
I don't know. I don't know if pretty is the right adjective that guys would want to hear about their penis.
I don't know.
I think we want more aggressive, terminology.
But, aggressive is not attractive.
I guess. But is it a petite, pretty penis?
No, come on.
That's what I'm getting at. Pretty makes it seem small, right?
Does it?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, fine. So it's like a giant and gorge,
it's not giant.
throbbing Thor's hammer of a penis.
See, that's it. Yeah. Guys would much rather hear that.
Okay.
None of that's true. But I'll tell you what is true. Mike Duffy, Captain Videophile himself, one of our frequent contributors here at Massive Late Fee, and by that I mean I just steal what he writes, has given Third Rock from the Sun 3 out of 4 stars. We watched Third Rock from the Sun.
Yeah, we did. I think it deserves more than 3 out of 4. What do you think?
I think it deserves about 3 out of 4.
Really?
But his headline is John Lithgow brings star quality to extraterrestrial comedy.
Okay.
And he says, okay, it's really, really silly. It is really silly. But the intergalactic slapstick of Third Rock from the Sun isn't made for morons. Not exactly, I mean. A classy, dramatic actor like John Lithgow isn't going to hook up with the lowest common denominator laugh track idiots when he makes his sitcom starring debut, is he? But when you're making a loopy farce about screwballs from outer space, you expect a certain amount of skeptical tongue clucking. Weird. What a weird phrase, Mike Duffy.
It is definitely odd.
It says, this is a quote from John Lithgow, "We consider ourselves to be a smart show, but we felt it could play anywhere." Actually, that's from producer Tom Warner. So anyway. But that's Mike Duffy gives it 3 out of 4. I thought that would be a good segue into us talking about Third Rock from the Sun, which refers to Earth, in case you guys didn't know, because it's the third rock-like planet from the yellow dwarf star
You know, that
that we call the sun.
that makes it sound like there are not rock-like planets between us and the sun. Like there's a vaporous planet or a water planet, but, you know, we're all, you know, planets.
That's like you're like a motivational speaker for the solar system. It doesn't matter if you're vapor-like. It doesn't matter if you're gaseous. It doesn't matter if you're rock. We're all planets. Deep down. There are non-rock planets.
Yes.
They're not
but
between us and the sun.
we are the third planet from the sun,
Yes, that is correct.
not the third rock.
Well, we are the third rock. We're the third rock-like planet from the sun. Both those things are true. It's just there's only rock planets. There's Mercury, Venus, Earth, and then Mars. And then after that, there are gaseous planets that are not rock planets. Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto.
Do they have a core?
That's a great question. Yeah, they have some sort of core.
Okay.
They all have some sort of core. It depends on what planet you're talking about as to exactly what the core is made of. I believe, and I'd have to look this. I'd have to go to the encyclopedia and look this up because I don't remember off the top of my head. But I believe that Jupiter's is. I want to see. It sounds wrong, but I want to say it's like ice. It's like an ice core. Like there's material in there, but it's like an icen instead of a molten core. One of the planets, I don't remember which one, but one of the planets has an ice core. It might be like Neptune because it's farther out, you know. And Neptune's like frozen methane. Is what that planet's made of. But they're all made of different. They're gas clouds surrounding some sort of core, basically.
So they're not just gas.
No. But there's no, as far as I know, there's no like surface per se to land on. I mean, not anyone that you'd want to.
Well, I don't think we'd want to get anywhere near any of those planets.
Well, I wouldn't. But I'm sure astronauts would.
Sounds terrible.
Don't you think?
Space travel sounds awful.
Well, was space travel awful for these guys? This cast of wacky characters?
Wow, I almost forgot why we were talking about this. Well, no, they seem to be having quite a bit of fun.
John Lithgow, some guy that can't open his eyes all the way, named French Stewart. Like he looks like he's always staring at the center of the sun.
Right?
What is with this dude?
Yeah, no, he looks stoned all the time.
Maybe he is. Maybe he's stoned all the time.
Maybe.
There's the little kid who is, I can't remember his name. Joseph Gordon-Levitt. That's the name of the actor. I believe his character's name is Tommy.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's French Stewart who plays dumb guy. I don't know his name. John Lithgow's character's name is Dick.
Yes.
I'm sure they're going to get some mileage out of that
Probably.
as episodes go on. And then there's Sally, who is played by Sally Kellerman. No, she was Sally Kellerman was in MASH. What is her name? I knew it, but I can't think of it now. I knew it before when we were like, when we were looking in the TV guide. I always look up the people's names. And I cannot remember her name.
You know I'm terrible with names, or I would try to help you.
Well, you know John Lithgow, of course.
Well, you've said his name several times, so I do now, but, I mean...
Kristen Johnston.
Johnston?
Yeah.
Huh.
Kristen Johnston.
So,
she's got one of those names that you could mix up either of the name.
Yeah.
It's Kristen, Kristen, not Kirsten, or not Christy, and it's Johnston, not Johnson. Not Johnson.
She's really pretty.
No? Kinda.
I think she is.
She's like a very baritone type voice.
Yeah, she does, and she's like a bigger lady, like she's like tall and broad and stuff. But she's got a curvaceous body.
Yeah, it's weird.
And she's got nice hair.
She does have nice hair
and big lips.
She looks like she has long legs.
Yeah.
So
I think she's attractive.
I guess. I mean, she's fine.
I mean, she's much more attractive than John Lithgow.
Well, yeah. That goes without saying. So, John Lithgow looks like a potato someone left out in the sun.
I mean, if we're gonna, say anyone in this cast is sexy, gonna be her.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
The little boy?
That's the kid. Yeah.
Okay, are you trying to go to jail, you freak?
He has a sexy side plot.
It's gross. It's gross because he's a little boy.
But it's not. But here's the thing. Like, so I think he's supposed.
He's supposed to be like 13.
I think he probably is.
Yeah.
I think that actor probably is 13. Well, I like it because he looks young. Because usually in Hollywood they'll get like a 22-year-old to play
right.
a 13-year-old. But he, I think, is actually around the age he's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And he's going through puberty, he says, so he's attracted to all these. Now, this dude, Dick, he teaches at a college.
What does he teach? I want to know, what the fuck does he teach?
I think it's physics.
But how does he understand physics, Earth physics, when they're like brand new? They've been there for 2 days. What?
Sweetie.
What?
Earth physics.
Shut up.
Physics is universal. That's the whole point of it, is that it applies to the fundamental forces that work on our universe.
So it's like the only thing an alien could teach.
Pretty much.
Got it.
That and math are like universal languages.
Here.
Everywhere. That's the point. 2 + 2 = 4, no matter where you are in the universe. Those numbers might mean nothing. Like, those symbols might mean nothing to another being, but that concept, you have 2 things, you have another 2 things, now you have 4 things, that's universal.
Yeah.
Earth physics.
2 could be called Gorschlop and 4 could be called Gimmel, but, Gorschlop and Gorschlop is Gimmel.
I love the effort, but yes, correct.
Fuck off.
Anyway, so, yeah, he teaches Earth physics at an Earth college. But my point is why is that Tommy kid there? He's supposed to be in high school, right?
Yeah.
And he's going up to, is this also a / high school? Or is he teaching high school? And if he's teaching high school, why is there a dean? And he goes up to this woman that's on the volleyball team and is like, I really enjoyed watching you bounce and stuff like that. And she's like, yeah, it was a good game or whatever. He's like, oh, it's a game.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how he loved to watch the volleyball game because he loved watching them jump, but he had no idea what was going on.
Well, and the thing is he's older. He's older than Dick is, apparently.
Right.
He's like the oldest one in the crew.
Just like Sally's a guy.
Yeah, but he's the youngest one here. But he's still, apparently the bodies they're inhabiting are real. They're not just holograms. They're not just for like underneath. They're not. Maybe their consciousness is in there or whatever. Mm-hmm. Because he's feeling the physical like triggers of being in a human adolescent body.
Right. So weird.
So I don't know how exactly they did it. I mean, at one point he says, "Give me your mind, Dick."
Yeah.
And then he just looks at him and apparently, I guess, goes in his mind and he sees all the depraved sexual stuff he's thinking of, and then he's appalled by it. So I guess maybe they can just put their minds or consciousnesses into things?
I don't know. I don't get it. But what I really, really want to know is he looked in his mind and he was like, oh, that's what you think about. And he's like, yes, all the time. And then at some point he's like, I could pop at any moment. Does that mean what I think it means?
What do you think it means?
Well, it could mean a couple things, and they both have to do with penises.
Okay, well then I'm gonna guess that it's whatever it is. It's gross then, because if they both have to do with penises.
Well, either he could pop a tent, like he could get an erection any
I don't
moment,
think that's what he's talking about.
or he could just jizz in his pants at any moment.
I don't think that's what he's talking about.
Then
either.
what is he talking about?
I think he's talking about this appendage is becoming so engorged that it could pop open.
Ew.
Like just splits.
That's even worse.
Because he doesn't understand the physiology of human beings. That obviously that's not going to happen. I think that's part of the joke.
Ugh.
It's kind of aping off of what Mike Duffy said, I suppose. This show is very silly. Like, very silly. It's very different from Friends. There's nothing slick about it at all.
Right.
But it's clever, too. Like, there's a lot of under-the-radar kind of humor. And it's only the first one. This is the first. It just came out, like, yesterday. It's the only episode they've made. Well, I don't know if they've made other episodes, but the only episode they've aired so far. So, I feel like the show has the framework where it could easily get better, too. But it's pretty clever. And I enjoyed it. It's one I would watch again, I think. What do you think?
Yeah, I'd watch it again. I mean, I am kind of interested to see how they'll continue to fare.
I mean, it's the ultimate fish out of water story.
Yeah.
Where it's like, it's four people that have no idea of any of the conventions. They rent this apartment, and they're all pawing over the landlord, or landlady.
Yeah.
The woman that's renting them this apartment, not in a sexual way, but just like examining her almost, and examining her sweater, her Angora sweater that she's wearing, and all this stuff. It's really weird.
Very, very weird.
But yeah, I liked it. I thought it was.
It's funny, but also uncomfortable.
Oh, and Jane Curtin's in it as well.
Oh, the lady he shares an office with?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Former Saturday Night Live cast member Jane Curtin.
It's funny, like, at one point they kiss, and she slaps him, and then he starts slapping her back.
Because he thinks that's what you do, apparently.
And then he kisses and slaps another person just randomly.
I think it's the dean.
Yeah.
I think she's supposed to be the dean because it's her party.
Yeah. It's weird.
It is weird. The whole thing's weird. But what I think really works about this is I think the writing's good. And John Lithgow, Jane Curtin, this Kristen Stewart, not Kristen Stewart, Kristen Johnston, and even the French Stewart and this Joseph Gordon-Levitt. These people have such weird names.
Yeah.
They're all talented comedians. They're all funny.
Yes.
Especially the two women, I think, and John Lithgow. I think those three. The French Stewart's a little broad for me, I guess. He's like, like it's all based on his appearance, how he looks and how he sounds. But I think the two women, Kristen Johnston and Jane Curtin, obviously goes back, a while in comedy. And John Lithgow, I think all three of them are the strong core of they're very talented comedic people. Mm-hmm. And I think they make the show what it is.
Well, we'll see if it continues.
Yeah, we'll see. I think this is one that's going to last. You can tell, I think, I don't know how long, but you can tell, I think, when you watch a show the first few times. I remember watching Seinfeld. I didn't see the first season, but I remember watching the second season. I've seen the first season subsequently in reruns, but I didn't see it when it first aired. But I watched the second season, so I don't know. I can't, having gone back and watching the first season of Seinfeld, I'm like, I don't know if I would have thought this was going to last. But I'm watching the second season live when it came out. I remember thinking, I think this has potential to go somewhere, And I think a lot of times you can tell. We'll watch shows sometimes like that one that, what the fuck was that terrible one that we watched?
Oh God, with the guy whose family disappeared or whatever.
They died in a plane crash or whatever.
Yeah,
they were on the same plane as Party of Five's family.
Right.
Yeah, they like that show. I don't think that show's going anywhere.
Fuck no, that show should never have started, let alone continue.
But yeah, so I think you can kind of tell, and I think this show's got legs, and it's got a lot of star power behind it too. So with John Lithgow and Jane Curtin. They're both known in the industry. So I think they got a chance.
We'll see.
All right. Well, speaking of having a chance, we watched a movie that got a chance to have a sequel, and then we watched the sequel.
Yeah, last night we watched Grumpier Old Men.
Yep, we went to the theater, and we...
had the popcorn.
Yep, and we watched two old men romance two older women.
It was...
With an even older man romancing an even older woman, and then dying and getting his ashes spread in the ocean.
You know what, though?
And it's a hilarious comedy.
Exactly. I mean, you make it sound terrible, but it was actually really cute.
I'm going to say a series of things that sound like...
Banana?
What?
Sorry. A series of things that sound like banana. Anyway, continue.
What the fuck? Does that come from something? Or is it guava? Tangerine. I'm going to say a series of things that sound like put-downs.
Okay.
But don't freak out. So this movie is meandering. The whole thing, it's like it just kind of goes from place to place. It's like the prow of a ship. It just goes back and forth, and it like there's no strong narrative drive to anything. Situations will come up that could cause conflict, and they'll cause conflict for that scene, and then it's over.
Yeah.
Like at one point, what's her name? Ariel is her character's name. I can't think of Anne Margaret. Anne Margaret thinks that Jack Lemmon's cheated on her with Sophia Loren. And they argue about it for a scene, and then it's over. She leaves him like 4 times in this movie. These people, I don't understand any of these characters, because these people leave each other at the drop of a dime for no reason at all. No one knows how to have a fight in this,
right?
In this entire movie. But anyway, so it's meandering. There's no narrative drive to it at all. Things just kind of happen. And it's like there's not much of a plot. There's not a ton of things that really happen in the movie. Most of it just seems like an excuse for, one scene after another. There's very contrived conflicts in the movie. At one point, Walter Mathau and Jack Lemmon decide we hate each other again, like in the first movie. So we're going to have a montage of us playing pranks on each other, because that was funny in the first movie. So even though it doesn't make any sense for us to, and we're going to make up, like with no consequences, and everything. All that stuff happens in the movie, and it doesn't make a whole lot of character sense.
And the montage, it's like a day, but it feels like it should be so much longer.
Yeah, and the movie feels a little long, too. But it's kind of a good movie because, and I think the meandering pace of the movie is on purpose, because basically what we're doing, I don't know if any of you have ever heard Garrison Keillor. I think Prairie Home Companion is it's a radio show that he does, right?
Prairie Home Companion?
Yeah.
Like a cowboy's like nurse? Like, I don't understand this.
No, it's
prairie dogs.
Yeah, that's right. It's prairie dogs. It's an online service selling prairie dogs to people.
I don't get this.
It's a radio show where they go to this little town on the prairie, kind of like a Little House on the Prairie, right? But it's more tongue-in-cheek and comedy stuff, right? I can't remember what it's on. It might be on the National Public Radio or something like that. But Garrison Keillor does it. Right?
Okay.
And it kind of reminds me of that a little bit. where basically what we're doing in this movie is dropping down on these characters and spending time with these characters. And we like spending time with these characters because we like these characters.
Yeah.
And there's no real reason for like a strong narrative drive to the movie because we're just spending time in their lives and it's just their lives happening. And that's it.
But I mean, I do disagree a little bit with like the lack of a plot. There's definitely a plot. There's
stuff that happens, but I mean, it's like things don't proceed from like it's not a classic like 3-act structure. This movie, it like things don't proceed from one to the next to the next.
I disagree. The beginning of the movie, Sophia Loren moves in, and opens the restaurante where the bait shop used to be, and he is unhappy about that, and there's conflict. Mm-hmm. The second part of the movie is them falling in love with each other. And the third part of the movie is them ending up together.
Well, yeah, I guess. And then they've got the classic beginning of the third act. They split apart because they... Yeah, okay, I guess. I guess it has at least that storyline has a 3-act structure.
Well, I mean...
You would call that the main storyline of the movie?
Yeah.
What about the kids that are getting married?
Definitely the B plot.
What's his name? Kevin Pollak and Daryl Hannah getting married.
Mm-hmm. I don't like their storyline.
And that kid doesn't like him because he's not her real dad. But that's never addressed. She just eventually he puts on a costume so she likes him. The thing I most didn't like about this movie is none of the conflict makes any sense.
Okay.
Sophia Loren likes Walter Mathau inexplicably. He's nothing but mean to her at the beginning, but she likes him. He's bold.
Which shows, though, like she was married 5 times before, right? Mm-hmm. So she has terrible taste in men, and she's probably been with a bunch of guys who treat her like shit. Which is why her mom knows, oh, no, she likes the one that treats her like shit.
Yeah, you could be right. But that's not a positive message.
Serious psychological issues, but still.
But, so, she likes him, and then her mom's like, hey, you've been married 5 times. You're just making another mistake. You thought those guys were it. This guy's not going to be it. Why get married a 6th time? You can't just date. You're 65 years old. You can't just date for the rest of your life. You've got to get married because kids? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I don't understand why they got to get married. But anyway, she's like, so you should just give him up or whatever. And she's like, you're right, Mama. And she doesn't. She's like, that's so arbitrary to me. She starts dating him, and she's like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm not going to string him along. She's like, if you care about him, then you won't see him anymore, which makes no sense.
And then she's like, doesn't tell him or anything. She just stands him up, which is so mean.
Ann Margaret gets angry at Jack Lemmon like 3 times and moves out like 3 times in this movie for dumb reasons.
Well, I mean, she thought he cheated on her the one time, but kicked him out.
You shouldn't move out for that.
No, yeah, she kicked him out because why? Because he was being mean to Sophia Loren.
Yeah. But I guess maybe her motivation is a little bit stronger. But then it's like Daryl Hannah's like, oh, we're moving too fast and I don't like this. And
yeah, that was really dumb.
Yeah, that makes it comes out of nowhere. It's not hinted at all before then. It comes out of nowhere and it's dumb. And then it gets resolved off screen, by the way. I mean, it was a true whammy moment.
Yeah.
And the one really surprising thing that the movie did, but their storyline gets resolved off screen. And then, like I said, the kids get into a fight, so then Jack Lemmon and Walter Mathau are like, well, now we're in a fight. And it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that was stupid. I mean, it happened because they were mad because each other's kid hurt their kid, and
let's be real. It happened because in the first movie, everyone talked about how fun that montage was of them playing pranks on each other, and they were like, the writers are like, they're friends now. How are we going to do this? Oh, let's just manufacture some bullshit conflict.
Right. It was kind of funny to watch them play pranks on Sophia Loren in the beginning.
Kinda, yeah. They didn't
together.
They don't take it very far.
No.
Like, in any of the cases, it's basically a scene.
Yeah.
Like I said, most of the movie is just hanging around. Most of the movie is sitting in Walter Mathau's home watching lesbians on Geraldo and stuff like that. That's what most of the movie is.
I don't think that's true.
Well, most of the movie is just hanging out with them.
Yeah. I mean, it is. It's a very laid-back feeling to the movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's, it's fine. This movie didn't need a sequel. Grumpy Old Men didn't need a sequel. It was a surprise hit. It's like the last gasp of this generation of actors and everything. And it didn't need a sequel, but I guess they felt like Walter Mathau's got to get his own attractive woman from the past. So let's find Sophia Loren. She's not doing anything.
Now, let me ask you. Walter Mathau, not as good looking as Jack Lemmon.
Oh my God.
Has that always been the case?
Yes.
Is Walter Mathau older than Jack Lemmon?
He is.
Okay, you can tell. His face looks like one of those dogs, like a Shar-Pei, just like
He looks like a hound dog. That's what he looks like. Looks like Deputy Dog. Like,
yes,
yeah,
exactly. Thank you.
No problem. Yeah, he's 7 years older than Jack Lemmon.
Okay, see, that makes sense.
They have a cute relationship, an old man cute relationship. And you can tell they've been friends for a long, long time. Mm-hmm. One of my favorite stories is Walter Mathau had a heart attack. And it's hilarious so far, right? Walter Mathau, I think they were rehearsing or something like that. And Walter Mathau had a heart attack. And Jack Lemmon was there and was worried about him. He comes over to, Walter Mathau's side and he's like, oh, Walter, are you doing okay? And Walter Mathau looks at me and goes, I make a living. In the middle of a heart attack. But yeah, they have a genuine friendship that has been cultivated over years. And that chemistry is palpable on the screen.
Yeah.
And that's the strength of this movie is the off-screen relationship of its two stars.
I guess.
What you talk about the movie then?
No, I mean, I just think that it's cute. Mm-hmm. It's enjoyable. It makes you feel good to watch it. Like, I mean, yeah, it's not a super thriller, and it's not like, dynamically, beautiful to watch or something. It's just it's a true feel good movie.
I guess most of the people in it are miserable. They are in Minnesota, so.
Minnesota.
They talk about the German heritage of Minnesota because they have this Oktoberfest thing, but they have such a Scandinavian heritage in Minnesota too. I mean, even his name reflects it, Gustafsson.
Yeah, Gustafsson sounds German.
But Gustafsson is Gustav's son. The way they do last names in Scandinavia, or the way they used to do last names anyway in Scandinavia, is they would take the dad's first name, and if it was a boy, they'd say son, and if it was a girl, they'd say daughter. I can't remember Bjork's real name, but Bjork's last name ends in daughter. And, you hear son more often because in our culture, you take the male's last name.
Right.
So son is the one that's proliferated. But, yeah, like Gustav's son would be Gustav's son. That's why Eric the Red's son was named Leif Erikson.
Right.
So that's where that comes from. So it sounds Scandinavian to me anyway, Gustafsson.
Watching the Oktoberfest, it reminded me of Frankenmuth, and it made me want to go there.
Well, it's the middle of winter, so.
Yeah, I've been there in the middle of winter.
Frankenmuth right now.
They're awesome for Christmas time.
Freeze our asses off.
Yeah, but then you eat the nice warm German food.
I thought you were going to say it.
Oh, goodness gracious. Get your mind out of the gutter.
Well, you're the one listening to The Offspring thinking they're talking about underage sex or whatever. Anyway, yeah, but that's about all I got to say about it.
Yeah.
So I guess that's our episode for the week.
If you want to feel good and happy, eat popcorn and watch Grumpier Old Men.
Okay.
Okay.
And what else should they do to feel good and happy?
Come to our website, retrolatefee.com, and write us at latefee1994 at AOL.com, and tell your friends all about it.
That's right. We will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.